All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and call the Peru Board of Public Works meeting to order April the 5th, 2022, about 4:01. Reading in the minutes.
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules and approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matt, to accept the minutes as written. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Payment of claims, $225,274.30.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of claims as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Matt, seconded by Ron, that we pay the payment of claims in the amount of $225,274.30. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Regular payroll, $176,392.13.
I'll make a motion, we approve the regular payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matt. We pay the regular payroll, the amount of $176,392.13. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Pension payroll, the amount of $82,415.10.
I'll make a motion to approve pension payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Matt, seconded by Ron. Pension payroll be paid of $82,415.10. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Monthly payroll, $5,990.77.
I'll make a motion, we approve the monthly payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matt, that monthly payroll of $5,990.77 be paid. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Old business, none. Moving right along. New business. Request by Brenda Douglas on behalf of the building department to have bids read that were submitted for the raising of all structures at 30 West 10th Street, Peru, Indiana, to be awarded at a later Board of Works meeting. Brenda isn't here, however, Susan has the ones that are going to be open.
Merritt and Son is waiting.
Susan, can you use the microphone? I can't hear you.
Merritt and Son,
Baird and Sons?
Merritt
Thank you.
and Son, excavating. Bid amount, $9,500. Wade Ames, $10,900. Down and Dirty, $7,554. JBT Excavating, $15,700. That's all.
I'll make a motion, we accept the bids as presented to be reviewed and awarded at the next Board of Works meeting.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, that the bids be accepted as read, be awarded at later on in the next Board of Works meeting. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next order of business is from Chief Hawk. On behalf of the Fire Department, requesting the approval of the resignation of Josh Hall. Josh's letter is as written. I have decided to acquire a lateral transfer to Bluffton Fire Department. I hereby state this day of 3/17/22 my resignation from Peru Fire Department in the city of Peru. I will be on duty for Peru Fire Department until the end of the shift on 4/1/22. I have learned many things from working as a firefighter through the Peru Department. I will utilize these new skills sets in Bluffton, and I am grateful to have had the opportunity to work for the city of Peru in this capacity. I hope the very best for the department and fellow firefighters that I have grown to know. Respectfully, Joshua D. Hall.
I'll make a motion, we approve the request for the resignation of Josh Hall.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matt, that we accept the resignation letter submitted by the fire chief from Josh Hall. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next order of business, also from Chief Hawk. Donald Myers, retirement letter. Peru Board of Works and Peru Fire Department. I, Donald Myers, am officially retiring my position at Peru Fire Department on, says 4/1, but his actually last date was 3/27. Dates of service 12/18/99 to 3/27/22.
I'll make a motion to approve the retirement of Don Myers for the 27th.
Second.
Motion been made by Matthew, seconded by Ron, that we accept the retirement letter as presented. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, Chief Hawk, on behalf of the Peru Fire Department, request final approval for hiring Cameron Migrant. We had pre-approved him, providing he passed everything, and he has completed that now.
Yes, sir. Baseline approved for Cameron Migrant. The result of physical examination, medical history, Cameron Migrant has been received. The statewide baseline standard established by Indiana Public Retirement Center and PERF has been established at this time. And do you have a copy of that letter also?
No, I
Close to
didn't.
that, okay.
Maybe I do. It may be
It was effective,
No, I think we have the one for Wesley.
Well, yeah, I don't have.
I do have
I've
that,
got the-
I do have that. I have this
Okay.
also as baseline. I
Okay.
can forward that to you, but it was approved through PERF.
Okay. All right,
I'll make a motion, we approve the final hiring of Cameron Migrant as
Second.
requested.
Second.
motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matt. Board of Works approved the final approval of hiring Cameron Migrant. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You may as well just stay there. Next order of business is also from Chief Hawk. On behalf of Fire Department, request the approval of hiring Wesley Smith. I will read the letter that the chief has written. Honorable board members, Peru Board of Works and Safety. The Peru Fire Department Pension Board is recommending the hiring of Wesley Smith. Mr. Smith has completed all of the necessary steps to be considered for a probationary firefighter. PERF paperwork has been approved effective 3/19/22. I formally request approval of the City of Peru Board of Works and Public Safety to hire Wesley Smith. His official hire date will be April the 6th, 2022. He will serve a 2-year probationary period before being considered for permanent status. Thank you, Chief Hawk.
I'll make a motion that we approve the conditional hiring of Wesley Smith to be a probationary firefighter for 2 years.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, that Wesley Smith be hired as a probationary firefighter for contingency of 2 years where he will be placed on permanent. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Chief. Next order of business. Patrick Redmond, on behalf of Miami County Artesian Gallery, Peru Visual Aid Festival is requiring use of city sidewalks, closure of 5th Street, 1 block east of Broadway and 1 block west from Broadway. They want a suspension of the curfew until midnight on festival day and the use of golf carts from Immunity to be able to be driven on city streets and sidewalks. Patrick, want to come on up? I will read through your request form here. We have some issues that safety-wise we're going to be addressing here. As a coordinator of the 2022 Peru Visual Arts Festival, we are requesting the use of city sidewalks for art activities as well as closures of specific blocks of 5th Street on the day of the festival, May 14th, 2022. We're also requesting an extension of the nighttime curfew and access for golf carts during the festival. We're requiring use of sidewalks in the areas of downtown Peru, mainly confined to both sides of Broadway from Main to 5th, as well as 1 block east and 1 block west and Main Street for the purpose on 5th Street and Main for the purpose of allowing artists to set up tables and or tents for the sales of arts as well as for public art display and creation. We're requesting the closure and use of 5th Street, 1 block east from Broadway and 1 block west from Broadway. We are not requesting the closure of any part of Broadway in conjunction with the second Saturday closure for the purpose of providing safe areas for activities such as Kids Corner and the art vending booths, as well as local entertainment access. We are requesting a suspension of the nighttime curfew until midnight on Festival Day for the purpose of allowing musical and art entertainment in a 10 p.m. to midnight time slot on the north side of the courthouse. We are requesting the use of 2 golf carts from municipal golf course to be allowed access on city streets or sidewalks on Festival Day to be used by festival coordinators and/or volunteers for the purpose of facilitating transportation, communication, or ease of access for the function of festival-listed activities or for aid of festival goers. Thank you for your consideration and support of this project. We've had some issues up here. Number one, you were talking about blocking off both sidewalks on North Broadway from both sides to Fifth Street, correct?
To use, not for the street
Not for
department to
street,
block
for the-
off, but
for
for
the
people to set up
sidewalk?
tables or vending booths.
So if they set their tables and booths up and we don't block off Broadway, people are going to probably migrate out into the streets anyway. So I'm thinking we'd be better off to block Broadway completely from, say, Main to Fifth, so there'd be no risk of somebody walking out. Because I'm assuming some of these booths will be bigger than others and they may take up like the whole sidewalk.
We're advertising a 10 by 10 space, but that is a possibility.
So
Yeah.
by doing that, there's no way to reasonably think people aren't going to walk out into the street. And so we would let cars go down through there. Next thing you know, we've got an issue. So I think we would be better off to block it, the whole street, and let you have that whole street. That way we don't have that issue. And
That'd be great,
That's
yeah.
wonderful.
But then on Fifth Street, if we block entire East Fifth Street for that block, what's that do to the business that's there, the pizza? I mean, that's going to block off their access. So could we maybe go from just to the Court Street? That way they could still have people going in to their parking area and stuff?
Yes, and that was actually our intention, was just to maintain what is normally blocked off for the kids' corner.
Okay,
So I don't think we made that clear, but yes.
Because if we block all the way down, then we've kind of prevented anybody from patronizing the business. And
Oh, yeah, we don't
And-
want to do that, yeah.
And even Court Street, if you would, it would probably be better to block Court Street off
completely, so you'd have that whole area
completely,
too.
so that you would have Court Street to Fifth Street. That way, the 7 Pillars would still have Fifth to Wabash to get in and out.
Sure.
And
okay.
you would gain an extra
Right.
area there.
And Chief Sophianis, do you think it's wise to block off East and West Fifth Street right there? Or should we keep West Fifth Street open?
West would be better open.
Okay,
If you're closing Court Street, you're gonna have to get a hold of the courthouse,
right.
or just stop, leave Court Street open and stop right before Court Street. And go west to Broadway.
But it's a Saturday, so I don't think courthouse is going to have, or the county would have any issues with blocking that. But
Yes.
so we would leave West Fifth Street open for vehicle traffic.
Our original plans were to have that closed so that we could have a stage there also, and for,
That's for court order. They're doing that for court order.
we're still thinking of having that the West Fifth Street closed, because the Fifth Street East is usually closed. It's closed already for second Saturday. And there isn't a lot of business on West Fifth Street, so we're not bothering businesses. But as far as going into the gallery and on down towards Broadway, we can have a lot of activities and a lot of artists in that area.
In that grassy area.
Where you go into this other area, you've got the second Saturday, and personally, I'm not that interested in Court Street.
What time does this start?
It starts at 9 in the morning.
9.
What we're wanting is that we're wanting to be able to take pictures of downtown Peru and that whole area, so for advertisement for next year.
Well, see, right there at West Fifth, on
Yeah.
West Fifth, you got that whole
Yeah. the
grassy
green-
area there
Yeah,
that
we
you
could
can
use that
use
grassy
too.
area there.
So what if we just
Well-
did from the alley, again, we just do half of that?
Pardon?
What if we just do half of West Fifth Street?
Because
Just to the
the
alley,
only
that way
thing, the
vehicle
bank,
traffic.
the drive-throughs on the bank's gonna be open
Okay.
until noon.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
So if we just do to the
But I
alley,
really
then,
feel like we need that grassy area.
Okay.
I mean, it's.
The
such a
grassy
great
area is
area
not the
for
problem, the
artists.
street's the problem.
and having access to the bank, and so if we did it just to the alley, they would still have access.
Yes,
Okay.
appreciate that.
And then, I mean, I don't see any problem with the midnight, 10 to midnight, there's not a lot of
Right.
residents down
So
there.
you don't even want Court Street blocked off then?
We do not have any activities planned on that side of the courthouse for this year. We've contemplated maybe next year we would expand to that
Okay.
side.
Yes.
So we'll have Main to Fifth, Fifth West to the alley, and then east to Court Street.
Yes.
That way, should somebody come down Court Street, they
They
can
can go off.
exit out. And they can still have the, going into Seven Pillars and coming out there and everything.
That'd be great.
And it starts at 9 a.m. As far as playing till midnight, I don't see any problem with that. Do you?
I don't.
So, where the band's gonna be setting up where? Is it
On
go-
the north side of the courthouse, and we do have permission from the commissioners
Okay, you
to
did-
put the
that-
bands there,
that
yes.
was my-
That was the thing, we couldn't necessarily
Yeah,
let you.
and they've also offered use of the courthouse lawn too, if we needed to move back. So we're looking at that area, but with the closing off of Broadway, that's very helpful, so.
Okay.
Okay, that was my next question, if you had contacted them or anything.
Hey, Mayor, if you're gonna close Broadway from Main, you almost have to take it to Sixth Street, because otherwise, if you close it to Fifth, people's gonna drive up past Sixth Street, and then they're gonna get trapped.
That was my next question, if we go ahead and do it to Sixth Street would be better, because then people would go either east or west and up Miami or Wabash.
Which if we had left West Fifth open, we didn't need to worry about that. But yeah, if we're
Yeah.
gonna close both, then we
If we're
will
gonna
need to
close
go.
both, would be better off going down to Sixth Street. And then that would give you a little extra room.
But what's that gonna do to the businesses from Fifth to Sixth? Because you've got the coffee shops and the donut shops, and those are all gonna get utilized on Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's true, and one of the goals of our festival is for people to be going into these businesses, and all of these restaurants and coffee shops, we have art, they are hosting art for people to come into, so we have not talked to them about that possibility of closing up to Sixth Street.
Because that's gonna cut down on.
Well, if we left it open, I guess other than truck traffic, they could go down the alleys, either east or west there.
No through traffic.
So, no, there's no signs anywhere in
If
Peru.
you left West
Says-
Fifth open, they could still use the sidewalk in the grassy area. Traffic could just,
If we,
If we left it
If we leave-
westbound open and it closed the east half of the
of Fifth
street,
Street,
even if you left both lanes open.
but if I'm with him, there's no reason for eastbound traffic coming at all, because they don't know where to go.
No,
So if we block eastbound off from the alley, We
Or they
leave,
just have to turn on Broadway going both directions.
yeah, they'll have to, that way we could keep the businesses open, we don't have to do Sixth Street. So you're coming north or south on Broadway, you come up to Fifth Street, you're gonna turn west. Nobody coming east because we'll have it blocked off with traffic department could block off all of East Fifth Street, so that'll give you
But it'll
half
be-
of the street,
It'll be blocked off anyhow because of Second Saturday going on.
but West Fifth wouldn't.
No, but East Fifth
Right.
will.
So we could safely barricade or block off half of the street over there?
Block off the parking.
Okay.
The eastbound,
And maybe
Yeah, so we'd have the
that's
grassy
what
side
you could
blocked
put
off.
your
As
stage
long
on
as we have the
Broadway.
grassy
Yeah.
area and the half of that.
And then you could put, like he's saying, we could put the stage if you wanted to, it could be on Broadway, right in the street, if that worked better for you. But that way we can keep the businesses taken care of or on,
Sure.
between Fifth and Sixth.
and plus that'll open up all your parking between Fifth and
Yeah.
Sixth.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that sounds like a great solution, yeah.
so on West Fifth be the south side.
Okay. And then, what about golf carts?
No golf carts. For a simple fact, no turn signal, no brake lights, no nothing. The only time that we've ever used anything like that has been during Circus City Festival, and they're only used after everybody goes home for the police security. And then they run a gator with ice and stuff for the vendors, but it's got turn signals, brake lights, and everything like that. So with that, I'm gonna say no to the golf carts
Chief Hawk,
for the safety.
would you be able to have don't you do like some life safety on the Gator when there's big crowds downtown and stuff like that?
So yes, for Circuit City Days, we do provide our Gator with 2 guys on it for EMS services.
Because I think that was part of the reason for the golf carts too, in case somebody needed some medical assistance or something like that.
Yes.
Is that something we could maybe look into doing?
Yeah, we could look into that.
Okay, so we can at least get that.
Thank you. That'd be great.
Okay, I think we've pretty well got everything supported here. There may be something else.
I don't believe so. We don't need to request electrical, do we? For second Saturday, a lot of times I send something out at the beginning of the year, so you'll have to forgive me for not remembering a few months in.
Okay.
But I believe that I request from the commissioners, just at the beginning of the year, hey, May through October, maybe use electricity. They do always say yes, so would you like me to send another request? for
You
this
you
one
might
now?
just hit them up with it and say,
Say,
hey,
hey, we are
we've got
doing
this
this
thing
thing."
coming up.
Super. I can do that.
Cities blocking off streets and stuff for us. Would there be any problem with using some power?
Sure, okay.
If there is, then you'd run extension cord from her
Sure.
shop. So,
Well, and they can talk to the utilities about accessing.
A drop down.
One
Sure.
that drops the
Yeah, the
circuit.
drop. Okay,
That's-
perfect.
Utilities takes care of those.
Yes, okay. perfect.
Right, if,
And my only other
Is this
question,
festival going to have food booths in it, or is it just artists?
No, we are not doing food this year.
Okay. Are your
Yeah.
tents then going to be on the sidewalks next to the buildings? Or
Yes.
in the streets?
The intention is to have them next to the buildings or on the grassy lot or on the sidewalk, but not in the streets.
Robert, do you know the code on tents next to a building if it's not cooked?
There's no code. If there's no cooking in it, we're okay.
I didn't believe so. I am in cahoots with the state
Okay.
entertainment permit
Yeah.
folks.
Okay.
So all that'll be taken care of, yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank
And as
you.
long as there's no open flames, there should be.
I was gonna say, no flames, no grease, propane, I think that's, yeah, those are the ones.
well, see, another thing too, by us blocking off Broadway, leave a path down the middle. You can have both sides, but should something, an ambulance or a fire department or a police department, we'll have to leave an emergency lane down the middle for them to get through. But
not put it right.
blocking it off will be a lot safer, because once you start setting tables up on the sidewalk and everything, then you got people that's walking out in the street and they're not paying attention, so.
We'll make it easier for them to cross from your booth to this booth.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
See more. Anything else?
I think that pretty well takes care of it.
Do we need to do anything special because Broadway is considered kind of a state road?
That part is.
That part's not, it
That part's
doesn't,
not. Okay, thank
it's
you.
from that
Okay.
part
That's good.
on south.
Okay, no, I couldn't remember what.
The
zone it
only,
was.
the only thing we might have, well, no, we shouldn't even have that. I was gonna say we might have some, road construction going on, but it shouldn't affect that area, so. All right,
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we approve the request with the modifications that it'll start at 9 a.m., so the road will be closed by 8 a.m. We'll actually close the entire block of North Broadway from Main Street to Fifth Street. We'll close East Fifth Street from Broadway to Court Street completely, and block West Fifth Street from Main Street to the north-south alley, eastbound lane only. And that the fire department will provide a medical patrol throughout the festival,
and they will be allowed to have their band until midnight.
until midnight, yes.
Second. Is that the whole motion?
All right, Ron made the motion. Is exactly what he said. Matt seconded it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do you have any idea how big this festival will be as far as attendance wise?
You know, we set goals, but we really do not know currently. Right now, we have, I would say, let's just say 20 to 30 artists who have expressed interest, but very few who have actually signed up. We are hosting a couple competitions that we haven't opened the sign up for yet, where people will be spread throughout town. And as far as people coming to it, we really don't have any idea.
This is your first year for this?
Yes.
I believe that there are 30 vendors which are artists. They have called and registered with me, they just have not come in to get the sign of the registration. And I think we'll get more for the restaurants. They have to come in and register for a number, because that's a people's choice by a number chosen. So I think we're doing fine in numbers.
Hopefully we'll have good
So
weather
that would be
then.
approximately, you're offering a 10 by 10 tent area, is that what it is per artist?
Yes.
And when you're saying artists, is this like paintings, drawings, and stuff like that? Is that what you're considering?
All
It's a
forms of-
visual- It's a visual arts festival,
Okay.
so it has to be visual. It can include glass, some glass, some sculpture, oil paintings, watercolor, things of that nature.
Okay, so they'll be selling the product and doing art while they're there, I'm assuming,
Yeah,
or showing what
some of
the art
them
is.
will use it just as a vendor spot, and others
What
will
it
be
is.
doing art while they're there.
Okay, very good.
And we'll also have some competition going, and we have a class for the youth in the morning, an hour class, and they'll be painting down at the river on a plein air event, and then there's competition, and the mayor is going to help us give out the award.
So this festival is
This
supposed
is
to be
gonna
about
be an all-day.
then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I did see it on the Indiana Festival site.
it is.
Yes.
It's already in the, it's in the data.
Yeah,
What is the exact name?
May 14th.
May 14th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think the concentration of vendors and such though is downtown.
Right,
correct?
yes, on,
That part is
And that's
concentrated
why we
downtown.
want this to.
Which is also a second Saturday.
Yes, correct,
So-
yeah. I'll already be there, so.
Yeah.
So it's just one day and that's a Saturday then, is that correct?
This is like a,
Till midnight
It's just
then?
Saturday, correct?
Yes.
9 a.m.
this
till
is
midnight.
second Saturday.
It is on the second Saturday.
In conjunction with them to boost it.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, next order of business. Request from Deborah Wallach on behalf of the United Way of Miami County. Request block off west side of Broadway Bridge to drop their rubber duckies and permission to use the river Riverway and grounds to host a festival for the families to enjoy the afternoon. The festival will run from noon to 8 p.m. on August 27th. Okay.
You're getting serious.
You're
when
already
you're
up
call-
there.
You're getting serious when you're calling me Deborah. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. So we are changing it up just a little bit. Last time we started the event on Wayne Street, not knowing, when the bridge was going to be done, we moved it to Broadway, and we're going to go from Broadway to the fire station. I've talked to Chief Hawk, and we think that a shorter distance would be better. The ducks took quite a long time to travel. The water wasn't up as high as we had anticipated, so the distance for them to travel took quite a long time. The participants, the people that were watching, enjoyed it, but it did take a long time. So the shorter distance, I think, will be better. We're going to make the event a festival, and we want to incorporate some vendors. We are going to have some bands playing. So that's why we're asking to use the riverfront and then also use some of the pavilion area. And then we also talked with Chief Hawk, maybe use the area there at the fire station. We would like to also incorporate some interaction with the police department and the fire station with the families to just be able to know that they can interact with them and feel comfortable. So we're going to meet with Chief Hawk and Dan just to see what we can do to get that interaction with the children. I think that would be great with the community. And then we're going to have a kayak race and a homemade boat launch race. And that's all going to start around noon to 2 o'clock just to start the event out. We're going to have be able to paint the kids' faces, just some other things throughout the day. And so that's where we're at. So we asked the permission to block off the west side of Broadway this time and then start the drop right there and then go to the launch right there behind the fire station, and then he'll rope it off. Chief Hawk will rope it off there, and then we'll get the ducks off there.
When the ducks are, you're not talking about an hour or anything, just what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, just drop them off there. It was really quick the last time, and then we worked with Dan, and he had a couple of his officers there, and people just lined up right there on the bridge, and then we'll just drop them off, and then they'll leave, and then everybody will just congregate down there at the fire station, and then we'll move down to the pavilion, and then also at Chief Hawk's fire station, and then have some vendors down there, and just be able to listen to music throughout the rest of the day, and then the bands and stuff will start probably around 8 o'clock and go till 10.
Okay. That one thing, when we used to do these ducky races and stuff, and I don't know, maybe you did, if you check with the Corps of Engineers.
We've already done that, so this is one of Senewa Corps of Engineers has already worked with us. They're going to raise the level up for us, and so we know now that there was a lack of communication last year. So we've already met with them, we've already talked to them, at least Billy from First Merchants has worked with that. And so they're going to try to raise the level up for us, especially since we're going to have a couple of boat races. And so we're really excited to have a really good family atmosphere this year and just make it a little bit better.
Now, what time of the morning does that start?
It's going to start at 12 and go till 10. Oh, wait, did I say 10 or 8? I'm not
It's
sure.
8 on the here.
8 o'clock,
You want
yeah,
to do
8
it?
o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, you're not changing it to 10?
No, we'll just go to 8.
Okay.
It's going to be a long day for me, so we're just going to go to 8.
So are you utilizing the park shelters too?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be shelter 8, or I think 9 and 10, out there on the river walk.
After 9 and 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then do I need any other kind of permission since I'm going to have vendors there? Will I need,
They'll need to register upstairs. for that.
then each vendor will need to register, not me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then the fire department comes down and makes sure that they have everything that they
Okay.
need and stuff, so
Is-
there's no charge for that,
Okay, and how soon ahead do they need to do that?
whenever.
Okay.
I mean, as long as we have enough time to be able to give it to the fire department.
Okay.
We'll just have to, are these vendors coming out of town then?
No, I think they're going to be local, as far as I...
Because a lot of times we do the day of, they set up inspection since they're coming in and stuff like that. So they do not have, it's for a festival, not a single
Right.
So,
But you still need to make sure that they, so if you're just going to do it that day, they won't even need to register
right,
then.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Just do the inspection that day, quick safety, make sure you got extinguishers.
Okay.
So then they don't,
No.
Yeah, they won't need to
unless
register.
they're out of town or something?
The only thing we will have to do is, you know, have to sit down and plan this out, see what we're going to do for.
Yeah, whenever
how
you,
many people come in.
yeah.
And then if you and Dan and I can get together on the other part to see what we can do with the creams.
Even if they're out of town, they won't need to register as long as we get
Okay.
it that way, so.
And this is August 27th, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the request as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, that request be approved as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, thank you.
Next order of business. Fire Chief and Jenny Rhodes request street closures and police assistance on July 4th, 2022 for the 18th Annual Firecracker 5K between the times of 7:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m.
So we've done this past couple of years, well, actually it's been a lot longer than that, but I spoke to both Chief Sofianos and Chief Hawk, and they said that they're willing to help us out. So we normally have a closure of Canal Street from about half of Canal Street from about 7 a.m. to about 10 a.m. or so, and then we completely close down Canal Street from 7:30 to 9:30 for the race. And that's usually not a problem. It's more from when the race starts at 8 a.m., we have road closures down for half of Broadway because we hit about 250 participants last year. So they can't fit on the sidewalk. We need to close down that one lane all the way from Canal Street to Mack Park. And then Chief Sofianos and his team have placed an officer, or I think EMA, is that correct? Was out there. Yeah, a couple of them, to be able to block all of those intersections and control traffic on there from about 7:45 a.m. when it starts, and usually the last person comes in rolling in about 9:30 or so.
How much of Canal Street did you want to block? I'm not-
We block from Fire Station all the way to Broadway.
Broadway?
Yep.
Which has been done
It-
pretty much every year. since
Yeah,
we've been having it.
we've grown, so yeah, we've had to now close down, one lane or full lane of traffic, but we've been doing this for about 10 plus years, I believe.
I'll make a motion that we approve the request as presented and clarify that we're blocking Canal from Broadway to Peru Fire Department Station Number 1.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matt. Blocking Canal Street and approving the request from Miami, from Fire Station down to Broadway. And the one lane of Broadway going south.
Yep.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Sounds like you're all set.
Thank you. And additionally, I don't know if this needs to be brought up to you guys, but we would like to have the Riverwalk restrooms opened that day. I don't know if that needs to go through you.
They should be, I mean,
We tried last year, but they were locked. So we had a lot of our runners and walkers come back. The fire station lets us use their restrooms, but there's just not enough because the event has grown.
if you give us a call a day or two ahead of time to
Okay.
remind us, then we can get with the Parks Department. What day is,
Monday, July 4th this year.
Monday?
Yep.
yeah, because that'll be a holiday, but
Yep.
give me a call Thursday
Okay.
or Friday
Okay.
before that.
Great.
And that way I can check with our Parks Department and make sure they do have them open.
Fantastic. I'm sure the fire department will really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving right on, next order of business, Chief Hawk, to have approval on change to the fire department light duty policy.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to reflect light duty to say pregnancy policy.
Second.
Motion been made by Matt, seconded by Ron. Amend the approval of changes to include pregnancy policies on the light duty policy, correct, Chief?
Yes, sir.
All in favor of the changes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now,
Eric, pull the mic back down.
So we had a review in regards, it was last week, we met in regards to the policies. And it did have the pregnancy policy, and it also had our light duty policy, which is a 30-day policy that's in there. 30 calendar days is approximately 10 working days that we have. That is something we looked at, we don't believe changed. The only change we were going to put into that was that person could be reassigned to a position within the city of Peru at light duty, but it's only for 10 days. So I feel that being only 10 days that they can fill their light duty at the department itself. The issue went back to the pregnancy policy, which we had wrote approximately 3 or 4 years ago, maybe roughly. It's in our rules and regs. We're looking to change that policy, and at this time I wrote up some changes, but nothing specific, I mean, as far as going with you, so I asked that at this time I'll just write the policy and then we'll put it up for review for their next Board of Works if possible.
okay.
I don't think we need to vote on that.
Nope, we don't need to vote on that.
So you think you'll have it for the next Board of Works?
Yes, it's not a big change, it's just to meet some federal standards that we have with our pregnancy policy. We do have it, the city of Peru does not really have a pregnancy policy, and we really haven't had a lot of issues with it, but one of the issues that we have had was that with the federal law stating that we have to offer certain time limits with it. And so that being said, we need to incorporate that into our rules and regs.
To just bring us into compliance?
Yes, to bring us in compliance with federal on that. And then to review it a little bit more, there's a couple issues that we have just to tweak it a little bit. It's been trial and error with this pregnancy policy just because it's the first time we've had it. And so we're just trying to bring it all together and make a little better package with it. And again, this is all brought up in regards to our short-term disability policy also, which Susan, I believe, is working on at this time. So we're trying to just incorporate everything together to make it flow a little easier.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any communications?
No, sir.
Nope.
Any communications from the audience? If not, we're up for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Matt, you in favor or deny?
I said aye.